Till a low tonight of 81. Thank you so much for joining us on the drive home. I'm Steve Mckinney. This is Hard Copy. We're expecting cloudy skies in the evening time, and we're being brought to you today by GAW Auto Parts, J.S. Johnson Insurance Company Limited, National Insurance Board, Advantage Insurance and Brokers, 61 Collins Avenue, Sandy's Cafe, reopened now on Blake Road, Executive Printers on Jerome Avenue, the Perfume Boss, celebrating Father's Day. Also, we're being by Cool Tech on Tonic Williams Darling Highway, celebrating Father's Day. Supervalue, the All Bahamian Supermarket, Rocky Farms Nursery. Time to garden now. McKinney Media Group, 32 Gibbs Lane in Fort Charlotte. Geneva Brass Seafood on Eden Street in Chippenham. Ron's Electric Motors, Cars on Wolf Road. Bahamas Foot and Ankle on Blake Road. Super Wash with locations everywhere to please you. Mac and Steve on Soldier Road. Central Super Center, East Street North. Bahamas Liquidators Shop. This is the place to shop right now in time for Father's Day. If you will, just go down and check them out, see what they've got over there on Mackey Street. So today we are here with the show, and that's because a lot of things have been happening here in our country today. And somebody tells me that, BPL is now on the block as far as service is concerned. Now they've actually sold BPL. BPL, that's the electrical company, right? And everybody's saying that it looks as if these fellas have sold us. That is the government of the Bahamas. Have they sold BPL? Have they sold it? Everybody is under the impression that no, they didn't sell it because Jobeth Colby Davis says no, it didn't get sold. They only gave it to some people for 60 and 40% on the cut. Now, does it mean that some people who were interested in BPL paid the government any money at all? Because that's a big question. You see, the last time when we had such an entity like BTC, the telephone company, Hubert Alexander Ingram got plenty money for the situation at BTC. But now it is these new fellas who've come to look at this BPL situation have not put up a single dime. That's what I'm understanding. Now, I want to be corrected. If there's anyone out there who listened to me today, and I know that you all are, tell me the truth, because I'm after the truth. That's all I'm after, the truth. You can't lie to me, because I can find it. And let me tell you something else. I already know what happened, Remember that now. I'm telling you, I know what happened. You must come clean and tell us the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And why am I saying that? Because, as one man said many years ago, Kendall Nottage, when he served in the House of Assembly, he said, I've got the easy, verifiable facts. You remember that? And guess what? If you lied to me today on public radio, we just may have to produce the easy, verifiable facts. Was BTC sold? Was BPL sold? How much money did they pay on this matter? The government says 60-40. Who gets the 40? Who gets the 60? Who are the people who are involved with this deal? These new power reformers. We're going to do all this grid and all that kind of stuff for the BPL people. And what looks as if it's going to happen is that they've already come out this morning and said, well, look, what's going to happen here in the Bahamas is that the people will save some $460 per annum. That's the catch, you see. You want to save $460 per annum? Well, that's fine. But what we getting off top shelf. See, you go back in your mind, you look at this thing, what Hubert Ingram did with BTC. They left some money there. Wasn't as much money as we thought it would have been. But he said to us, and he was clean with us. He told us, he said to us, we didn't like it. He said to us, look here, you have to sell BTC. We need the money. I remember that clearly. He said, we need the money. Well, if these guys need the money, they might as well tell us that they needed the money. The precedence has already been set. Ingram said so. He needed the money. These guys should have said the same thing, that they need the money. But you see, the catch in this whole matter is that what did they leave the new people who are coming to reform and bring the kind of stuff to BPL? What did they leave on the table? What we offered? Or did we just give the whole doggone thing away? These are serious questions, Sounds simple, eh? See, the government cannot afford to be caught in such a lie. If the government is caught in such a lie, I don't know what this will do to them. The other day we had that stinking rumor about some high-profile senior minister of the PLD government. They recognized and said that that was not true. The people, though, said that the woman went to jail in one day. Fastest case they ever saw. Now, we don't need to have another situation happen where we just finished questioning that. Now we question this whole thing about this BPL thing. Come now. Sounds a little consistent. If we have to question this, we just question that, we question this, it sounds like there's some inconsistencies here in the pipe. So I want someone to tell me today that they did not sell BTC, or BPL, sorry, BPL. If you didn't sell it, prove it to us. Today on the show, I've got a man who a lot of people fear these days because he somehow seeks out the truth and finds the truth and publishes the truth. Maybe this time, if such a thing is being published, then they won't be able to convince anybody else that this man don't know what he's talking about, or this man does know what he's talking about, but they can't say anything about it. Somebody needs to tell us the truth. I speak of Lincoln Bay, no other. He's on the show today. Was down at BPL earlier. Shared his views with the many people who are protesting and that kind of stuff. The union people who, in fact, says they don't have a clue. That's what they said, They said in the newspapers, we don't have a clue what's going on. All we know is that our members are very upset. And not only that, we have job security issues on the table. No one is telling us anything. That's what this McKinney fellow said. Graham McKinney, he was the Secretary General in the union. Kyle Wilson is the president. Maybe they can call us as well and tell us whether or not they're hearing what we're hearing. That, of course, BPL is on the chopping block, or is now on the chopping block, and the deal may be not finished yet. I don't know what to think anymore. See, I'm getting dizzy now with this whole thing because one day they say this, the next day they say that.
Yes.
Come now, we got to make up our minds. What are we doing? Who we're trying to fool? See, these guys have a vague way of looking at the history of our country. If the man came and told us long time ago that BTC was sold because we had to sell it, we need the money, is what Hubert Ingram said. Well, if these fellas need the money and they want to sell this thing, but I got another few pointers on this matter. See, you can't be looking for any money on this particular BPL deal because the fellas who got the money, they got plenty money.
Thank you.
Plenty money. And so they could afford to pay whatever they had to pay to purchase the whole thing. But see, there's some tricks going on here. We don't know exactly who these real players are, or who the real people behind these real players are. But we just know that they're greedy. They want everything.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a show on the air yesterday talking about Professor Bernard Young, talking about people just want everything they can get. What shall it profit a man if he can gain the whole world and lose the soul? They want everything they can get. Where they can take it? That's the question I ask. Where you can take all this money? So some people just want, and they can afford to pay what they have to pay to get their hands on BPL, if that's what's going to happen. But make it a fair deal. And don't rob the Bahamian people. You can't take something for nothing and expect that we that dumb, we ain't gonna pick up. But I then give you a case. BTC was sold. That was public knowledge. So why these fellas couldn't sell BPL? The prisoners have been set. And the FNM did that. That even makes it even more, that makes it even more tempting to us to believe that if they did it this way, most people would not have had a problem with that because the prisons have already been set by a former prime minister. This prime minister now, Brave Davis, has to put on his big boy's pants and say and do the right thing. That's all it is. But without any, we're going to talk with the people who actually know what's actually going on with BPL. The unions are in quite a stir right now because they don't seem to know what's going on themselves. And everybody seems to be ducking the real questions. The media is out to lunch again, and they've not been asking any questions at all. The best we've seen in the media so far was the young man Yori Kemp, who did that piece with Simon Wilson. But we haven't seen anything much in the media these days. Everybody's just going along with the program. We've got to ask the questions. Did they sell BPL or what? And if they sold it, we've got to find it out. And who they sold it to, we've got to expose that as well. We have a right to know. We're the keepers of the gate. We're the fourth estate. That's what the media is, the fourth estate. We have the right to make sure that the people know the information. You let this lady tell you what we can save $460 a year annually. Annually. That ain't a month, that's a year. That's your little package. Shh, shut up. That's your little package. I mean, come on now. That's what she told. That's what she told us. It's in the newspapers this morning. But boy, this one means that we've got to really do some searching and put some questions to him now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. This one going to be a serious situation. We got to be accountable. We just finished talking about that yesterday in the budget. You got to be accountable. We can't just sit. You just can't do a budget every day and just, budget deficit, and you're not accountable. And you just going along with the program.
Thank you.
What's going on? What's happening with the Bahamas? What's happening in our country? And then when you get somebody who is willing to give you the information, willing to talk with you, you want to black him out. You don't want to give him no play. How foolish can you be? He's behaving just like me and you. He got something to say. Talk to him. What's the matter? I talk with everybody because I want to find out the truth. Don't you want to find out the truth, media? You just can't keep taking everything what people say. They tell you this, they tell you that, they tell you this, and all the thing what they're telling you got all kind of errors in it. Off the cuff here, the minister responsible for health and wellness says we ain't checking what the people say about the town meetings with this hospital. We ain't checking for that because you ain't convinced us. Could you imagine that? That's what he told the Bahamian people. You all didn't convince us. You didn't convict us, and you didn't convince us that we shouldn't build a hospital.
He's right.
But I'm saying to you, he may be right to say that. But at the same time, you're supposed to be discussing something with the Bahamian people. But at the same time, you're saying that you're going to break ground for this thing tomorrow. But you're still coming back and having more town meetings. What that for? You see the mix-up? That's what it presents. What is that for if you're still going to break ground for the new hospital, this specialty hospital, which is the maternity hospital? That's what people don't know. It's a maternity hospital. It's right up their sleeve with their plans that they want to have happen in this country. Everybody else have the babies, and they have the hospital to produce the baby. Well, what's wrong with that? You silly boy, what's wrong with that? You silly Steve, what's wrong with that? That's what he asked me.
Steve.
My friends, all I'm saying is that I just showed you those little signs there to show you the inconsistency of the government of the Bahamas at this particular time. They maybe they're doing too many things at one time and they're getting all mixed up. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
They sure doing a lot of things, and it's just getting confusing because if you sell BPL, say so. The Bahamian people will deal with it. But don't lie to us. 60-40. Who's going to get what? What's going to happen? This is a good place for me to introduce my special guest today, Lincoln Bain, 5:34 of the afternoon. Mr. Bain, sir, how are you?
I am awesome. How are you doing?
Well, I'm ready and looking to see what's going to happen here today. What you got to tell me today, sir?
Well, I'm here at Maria Daxon, and we're here because we're flabbergasted, not at the actions of the government, but that the people will sit and allow this to happen. When you talked about the Minister of Health just now, you said that he said we didn't convince him. He's right, because the way that the people convince the government is to demonstrate. That's actually the legal way. That's a legal mechanism in democracy, to demonstrate your will. And so we didn't convince him. And so he's right. You talk about the inconsistencies and the errors in what the media is getting and reporting. and you talked about the lady saying that you're going to save $460 a year. That math isn't mathing. And none of the math that they're coming with is mathing. It's not adding up. How are you going to save $460? They said it's worth $21.90. The break that you're going to be getting on the first 200, isn't that right? Well, when you multiply that by 12, you get 262. So that's $260 a year. How do you get to 460?
I don't know if you can put the extra monies there. Since we guessing.
But how do you get there when they also increase the fuel surcharge? The fuel surcharge went from 16 cents to now it's 20.65 cents. But they didn't say anything about that. They just put it on their website and they're putting it on your bill. But you're not saving anything because they increase the fuel surcharge.
So you mean to tell me you're going to knock down Colby's statements that you can get $460?
No, you're probably gonna lose that.
Thank you.
From last year to now, the fuel surcharge has gone up from 16 to now it's 20.65. And at one point in that period, it was 27 cents per kilowatt hour. So what they did was they raped and robbed you over a period of time and then say, hey, look, we're going to give you a little piece of a break. It's fraudulent. But to this transaction that we're talking about, is it a sale? Steve knows not a sale per se.
It's a giveaway.
Legally, they cannot sell BEC. That's in the law. I did a live and I showed the acts and I showed where it cannot be done. All right. And so that's why they formed a separate company called BPL. And then they're trying to rape all of the value from BPL. The services. I want you to think about this before I get to that. Maria, Steve. Companies in the United States, especially companies on the whole, they want to make a profit, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
BPL never makes a profit. Never. They have legacy debt of $500 million. So why is that company coming into BPL? Well, they had a little seminar this morning or forum this morning, and persons asked them that. They're like, but BPL doesn't make a profit. Why would this company be trying to get involved with BPL if they don't make a profit? Okay, good question. They couldn't answer that. They didn't. The next thing that I'm asking, Steve, this company is going to be dealing with the distribution and transmission part of BPL because they've already given away the generation part. All right. Frankie Wilson and them have 4 generators in there. And so they're already doing the generation. So now what's left is the distribution and transmission. What is distribution and transmission, Steve? That's the lines. That's the lines and infrastructure that gets the power to you. But the problem is we're not charged for that separately. So how is this company going to make money from this deal? There is no charge for distribution and transmission. Think about that. So what is it that they are benefiting from? We haven't been told this. What is this distribution? Are you going to add a new tariff? Because we noticed that before they did this, they went and changed the law so that ERCA cannot stop BPL from making new tariffs. They can do new tariffs without going dealing with ERCA first. So are they going to add a new distribution and transmission tariff? Is that what's going to happen? This is confusing to the Bahamian people. All right? And so we need to know what's going on. None of it adds up and none of it makes sense. Who are these people? Now, going back to the example of BTC. BTC paid $210 million, not BTC, Cable and Wireless paid $210 million to get 51% shares, right? That's understandable. So they're valuing it at about 400 million. Okay, I think it's worth more than that, but okay, we got swing, we got something, right? So we got $210 million in that deal. Plus we get to keep 49% and still make more money in the future. So, okay, we're doing okay. In this deal, we are taking all of our infrastructure, giving it to them, all right, 100% of our infrastructure, and we're going to get 40%. They're getting 60%. So Cable and Wireless spent $210 million and they got 51%. This company spent nothing. We put up our infrastructure and they get 60%. And of that 60%, they're going to distribute shares to Bahamian croonies. That's how I'm going to say it. The same known persons. They're not giving it to the general public, but they're going to take it and give it to the same suspects. I believe the same Frankie Wilson, Brent Simonet, and these same kinds of people. They just stole our utility. Jesus. Remember when the PLP was in before? And between 2002 and 2007, they tried to sell BPL to themselves, as BEC at the time, to themselves, to a company called Blue Water.
I remember that.
Yes.
And when you check to see who owned this company, it was the same Bradley Robertson then, right? And so Ingram was able to overturn it because they sold it to themselves on credit. They tried to outright thief the whole company
It's still trying it.
on credit,
My Lord.
saying that, well, they're going to just take it and then they'll pay out of the profits that they make. They'll just pay it back out of the profits. That didn't mean they got it free.
Yes.
Ingham was able to return it because the law says you can't sell BEC on credit.
Mhm.
All right. And so now this company, they're doing it again.
Mhm.
They couldn't outright sell it, so they're trying to piece it to themselves, and now they're getting it for free. And the same persons who have been raping and robbing us, like Brave Davis said, one day they keep sharing this thing that he said: the rich is going to get rich and the poor is going to get poor.
My Lord.
And he's showing you this was happening, and they package it, make it sound so nice when they're raping you. Oh, that man raped me, but he's handsome.
So what's going to happen at the end of the day now? Because, I mean, this is alarming, very alarming, because somebody is not telling us the truth about anything. And it's all, you know, it is a situation where these people have decided that they're not telling us the truth. We cannot know this thing. And if we stumble upon the truth, that's just too bad. But they ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, Steve.
How do you trust people like that
You can't.
who are not saying anything for your edification, for your information, for your knowledge? And you're gonna still go on trusting these people who are making deals left, right, and center, and including the taxpayers in this whole matter
Mhm.
that we're gonna have to still pay. Come now, we got to get down to brass tacks, because you cannot be happy with that.
Of course
People,
not.
behemoths cannot be happy with that, because
No.
you know this whole thing with the lady is thrown out there saying that we can get $460 a year annually. I found that insulting, really, to tell you the truth.
Very insulting.
But some people will say, "Well, that's good to be getting something." I mean, I don't know what they're
They're going to be
thinking,
making millions. Good afternoon, my fellow behemoths. Steve, no, that's unacceptable. And you ask a question whether they are selling BPL. I don't think so. I think they're giving it away
To
outright,
themselves.
to themselves. Steve, like I told Lincoln this morning, I saw a PLP friend of mine called me and said, I told Lincoln this morning, I saw a PLP friend of mine call me and said, Miss Jackson, listen, you all need to address this situation. I said, what situation? Say, do you realize that my party, PLP party now, do you realize that they are giving away BPL? I say, what? No, that can't happen. That wouldn't happen. And he said, this is what's happening. They say the 60% is going towards these people. They never told the people who will be getting this 60%. 40% is for the Bahamian people. And Steve, what was so shocking to me is that the person brought to my attention the port deal. Remember the port deal?
Yes.
They tell me that these people came into our country with a bag full of 1 cent. Come up with an idea. We're going to form this company. We just going to pay the licensing fees. And what we're going to do, we're going to put the shares out there to be sold. Who bought the shares? The Bahamian people. And as a result of how much money they got, they was able to build a port. That's when a PLB called me and tell me, Steve, say that's the same thing they doing to BPL. What they're going to do, they're going to form the company, pay the licensing fee, maybe $100, and they're going to start selling the shares. And who's going to purchase the shares? Their
Who?
friends.
Them.
Them gonna purchase the shares. So who's gonna get the benefit? The shareholders, because why? They purchase in the share. They ain't put no, it ain't like they coming up with some money like Lincoln say, oh, they came up with the 210 million for BTC. Joe Bet Colby Davis never tell the Bahamian people how much money these persons coming up with, the 60% coming up with, that was never tabled in the people's house. No agreement tabled in the people's house. Why are they doing this to the Bahamian people? And Lincoln will tell you today, they said they have several generators, but generator with Frankie Wilson on, always on. Because
Four generators.
His generator got to stay on. That's where the money is. They come, Steve, to steal, rape, and rob us again with BPL. We had to stand up this afternoon and inform the Bahamian people it's time now for us to fight. And Lincoln need to talk about this paper, what he got, what actually blow my mind. But how much money in 17 years? $4.9 billion.
No, 6.5 billion.
$billion. These guys made from the taxpayers, on the back of the taxpayers. So all that money they had, or they made, they'll be able to buy BPL, but why? Still won't take it on credit.
Serious stuff. What are your thoughts, Lincoln?
Steve, not everyone at BPL, even directors, agree with what's going on in this country right now with BPL, and so they seem to be okay with releasing documents. So the document that I have in front of me is a document. This is a fuel surcharge. This is how much money was made that they made with this fuel surcharge. All right, these focal people, for example, this is showing $31.9 something million per month, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
So $32 million per month. That's $384 million per year. That's $6.5 billion over the 17 years they've been charging us for this.
Unlawfully.
That's $384 million. Do you know what they said they owed in this debt, and the reason why they was getting the fuel surcharge? They said they owed $70 million. And to pay that $70 million back, they had to do a fuel surcharge. But they was making $32 million a month.
$32 million a month?
Yes.
On fuel, yeah.
It just is unbelievable.
These people been raping us for years and years. All right? And this goes directly to the F&M and PLP.
Thank you.
Because they own Focal. This goes to their interests.
Mm-hmm. Not the people's interests.
But you know what's worse? They realize that fuel is going down. Fossil fuel is going down. We signed agreements years ago that by 2030, we would have to go to 30% renewable.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to go to solar and make it seem like they're so ingenuitive. They're going solar. Look what they're doing. No. They have to do that or our country's going to be punished. All right. And so they realize, hold on. When we buy fuel overseas and then sell it to BPL, we have to buy the fuel. But if we go solar, we just have to buy the equipment at one time, and then we get free energy from the sun. We don't have to pay the sun. Now we'll be making free money off of the Bahamian people.
Yes.
Do you see what's happening now?
Oh,
and I warned everyone from 2 years ago. I told them that this was coming and that the deal was made, that Frankie them are going to be allowed to invest in the solar, and then they're going to tout it like it's something big and look at what the government is doing. Any government who's in power is going to do it.
Right.
Look at what the government is doing. We're going solar. We're so great. Vote for us again. if you go in solar, why the same free? Because you have to buy the solar panels, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. With our carbon credits, you could have that given to us free.
Yes.
Because of carbon credits. Because the company or country that buys it for us will get the credits for that in the same value of whatever it costs. So if it costs 90 million, they get 90 million worth of carbon credits. So we could have gotten the solar free, but I told everyone they will not do that. They are going to let Frankie and them do this solar. So now they're going to be making free money, raping the Bahamian people.
Oh, but yes.
And no one is going to say anything about it. And they're going to celebrate these things as victories.
But somebody will be saying something about it. I mean, you're saying something about it now.
Yes.
But I think you perhaps need more people to say more things about it because, I mean, I find it outrageous. But we have a quiet media in the Bahamas, and nobody's asking any real questions.
They're not quiet, they're sold out.
That's what it is?
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me the media is sold out?
Yeah.
Of course.
They got positions. So the Guardian is Anthony Ferguson, of course. And so he's working with the Prime Minister. He's traveling around the world with him. All right. He got a position. Right. He's non-resident ambassador to somewhere, and he's a position. He has a he's able to do whatever he wants. They are doing the carbon credits. All right. And they're forming these Shell IBC companies in order to own our carbon credits. And this is another robbery that we have.
Mm-hmm.
That's a major robbery. I'll talk more about that on my live on Sunday. But, next you have Jones Communication. He's been made an ambassador. So what is his station going to say about anything? So you got the Guardian, you got Jones Communication locked down. The Tribune, they are benefactors in all of this too, because the F&M is benefiting from all of this, just like the PLP is. All right? The only person out there speaking is you. The only person. The media is on lock.
Yes.
You understand? And that's why they're not challenging them. The only real voice out there is us.
Mm-hmm.
See, Pintad and the F&M, they find reasons to make noise in the house, but not about stuff that benefits us. They're not talking about anything that benefits the Bahamian people. They're not fighting for us. They'll find something that doesn't really touch the oligarchs or anything important, and then they'll make noise about that.
So there's still special interest groups that are around the place, and that's it.
Guess what?
We've got to
If
accept the law.
Pintad and them was serious, they would be fighting for this. They'd be telling the PLP, no, you can't give away BPL.
Yeah.
You can't do it. That's what you get thrown out of the house for. That's what you get locked up for.
Yeah.
That's what you get named in the house for. Not because you think that what is it, Kingsley?
Yeah.
Not
Kingsley Smith.
didn't say it correctly. He was talking about what the PLP did in Grand Bahama, and he's not saying it correctly. That's what you're getting all in the hizzy for? That's it? You're going to get thrown out for that?
Not this BPL thing.
No, not the BPL thing. When Brave Davis took our sovereign wealth fund and ended that,
Yes.
you didn't stand up for that? Oh, you voted for it? When he took our carbon credits and put it in his name, you didn't stand up for that? You didn't get kicked out of the house for that? But you want to say, oh, Pintad, well, he can't own partner. He can't. Oh, it's like Finland. No. Finland fought for real things that affected us.
Yes.
Real things. The F&M is flaming. And so we're calling on them to take this country seriously. The F&M sold off BTC. The PLP is selling off, technically, BPL. They raping us together. They letting, okay, you all over there, you all handle it. When you're all in power, you all do that. When we in power, we can do this. Let me show you how serious this is, Steve. When Ingram in the 90s, I was a police officer, I was working on Bay Street. I worked the protest. When Ingram tried to sell BTC the first time, we didn't even know who he was going to sell it to. But even we know he's going to try to sell it, right? Shane Gibson organized a protest. It was in the 90s. He organized a protest, all right? I was working it. Man, they threw bear and peanut on Hubert Ingram.
Yes.
I was there. And he told the police, I was one of them. He said, listen, y'all, if the people are protesting, you can't stop them. All right? Because he's ready to start locking people up. You can't throw bear and peanut on the prime minister. He stopped the police from touching the people. He said, no, the people are the boss. That actually impressed me a little bit. All right? And he let it happen. And so afterwards, he said, listen, I can't sell BPL BTC because the people said they don't want it.
Yes.
Now, that's the small amount of people in Russell Square, you know.
Right.
But that's the people.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And that's the law. That's international law. If the people protest, you can't still do it. You see? And so he followed the law. So guess what they did? They became smart. You can't go against the people in international law. So what they did, Perry Christie now, because Ingram and Christie work together. Perry Christie lured Shane Gibson into the PLP to become an MP. Like, come. You got a lot of influence. Come with us, man. Yeah, we can make you somebody. All right? And they got him in. What you want? You want one gated community or something? All right, come, whatever you want, man. Come. Yeah, you're inside now.
Yeah.
And then you have to toe the party line. And so when Ingram got back in, and he said, I sell in BTC again, there was no Shane Gibson to organize another protest. And so we went on the radios and talked, beat up our gum, and they sold it. Boom.
Just
Gone.
like that, just
You
like that.
see how these fellas work together? And now it's BPL. Methodically.
And all Ingram said is that we need the money.
Yeah. Or
How's that?
methodically, when Brave came in, he canceled out the media. So that there'll be no one to really educate the people.
Yes.
He canceled them out. That they can put whatever fluff and lies they want to put together. They just say whatever nonsense comes to their head.
Mm-hmm.
Like that $460 a year thing that doesn't even add up. I heard them talking about they're going to do pools in the swimming pools in the schools now, right? That's just to give contract to their cronies. That's all that for. They find it anyway. Hey, if we put pools in the schools, we can make plenty of money. Let's do that. So that's all they're trying to do, right? They don't care about the children swimming. But he made a statement while he was doing that. He said 95% of Bahamians can't swim. Y'all heard that? He said 95% of Bahamians can't swim. I have a problem with that because no one asked me. No one asked me if I could swim. But where you get that statistics from? The prime minister literally said that. Did anyone ask you, Steve?
No.
Anyone ask you, Maria? They asked me. Anyone listening to this, did they ask you if you could swim? So how do they just repeat these statistics off the top of their head, and they do it just to promote whatever it is they're doing at the time? They just say whatever lie comes to their head, and the Bahamian people just sit down and let it happen. But I can tell you one thing. When the Bahamian people quiet, they're dangerous.
Oh, yes.
When you see them stop protesting, is when you got to watch out. So the government and the FNM could think that the people are falling for their nonsense all they want. But let me tell you something. When you see Bahamians go quiet, when you see them come to those ballot boxes with no paraphernalia on, no shirt on, and they in there quiet, they ain't saying nothing on that line, that's when you got a serious problem coming.
Yeah.
They could juke you right up.
You think we got this serious problem coming very soon?
It's
Because
already
I mean, a lot of people are not very, very gung-ho on the Brave Davis administration at this time. I mean, they complain about the immigration situation. They complain about the police situation with the many killings and all. They complain about so many things in this country.
The hospital.
They complain about the budget reports. They complain about the hospital. You know, a lot of things have just gone against the prick of the Davis administration. They're complaining about all the interference from the Brave Davis administration, like from the financial secretary, from the people who run the press media for him. I mean, they're complaining. They're actually complaining about these things. But I don't see anything to say to me, for instance, that they are planning something to the point where I suppose you won't see the plan, but you just have to feel it. You're just going to know that this is what's going to actually happen.
Yeah.
Because you can't really tell. They're so very, very quiet right now. I believe it's a lot of built-up pressure on them.
Yes.
The whole thing is that, this has got to stop. They're making them vex even more and more every day. That's what's happening,
And they got everyone spinning. It's like it's so much scandals every week. There's never been this much. It's like, how do you keep up, Steve? You can't keep up.
You can.
Like you look crazy trying to address every darkness the PLP is doing right now. Every little thing that you can't keep up. They're over here doing foolishness, over here doing foolishness, over here doing every government ministry. They're doing foolishness. I mean, how do you even keep up? So we all we can do is fight and keep informing the people.
That's right.
We're going out there on Wednesday. We're gonna deliver a letter to the leader of the opposition to tell him to stop being a coward and a sellout.
Is that right?
Yes, we're gonna deliver a letter to the leader of the opposition at the House of Assembly to stand up against this nonsense that's happening. We're gonna put stuff in writing to show why, and we're gonna deliver a letter to the Prime Minister of this country. All right. So on Wednesday we're gonna do that. So all Bahamians who want to come out, if you have a problem with this thing being sold, come out and join us.
Yes.
All right. We're gonna go there for a specific purpose, and we're looking forward to seeing all of you out there on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Come join us at the House of Assembly, our House of Assembly, and let these people explain to us how you made a distribution deal, but they don't charge for distribution.
Thank you.
Hard copy, how you doing today?
Hi, good evening, Steve. I just wanted to interject. You asked a question of Mr. Bain a minute ago, and the Bible says, "As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end."
Yes.
Well, in the beginning, we had a quiet revolution. People weren't making a bunch of noise. The right people were talking to people. And I want you to know this message is going out, and just how that individual was bold enough to ensure that Mr. Bain got that document today.
Thank you.
In real time. I want you to believe that the Bahamian people are in tune with what's going on. They can shut the media down all they want.
Wow.
They can't shut down.
They're not going to stop that information from flowing.
They can't stop this train.
That's right.
You hear me, Mr. McKinney?
I hear what you're
They
saying.
can't stop this. This quiet. I spoke to a pastor, and I said, "So what are you going to do?" He said, "Remember the quiet revolution." That's all I have to say to that.
My goodness. I get you. I hear what you're saying loud and clear. The quiet revolution.
And Steve, like I say today, we are calling out the pastors. We are calling out the civil leaders in this country now. See, this is wartime.
We're calling out the unions.
The unions. This is wartime.
Remember, it's a union that originally stopped the sale of BTC in the 90s. It was a union.
That's right. That's right.
Where's Belinda Wilson? Where's Kingsley Ferguson? Where's Darren Woods? This is affecting their workers, their union members.
Where's the BC union?
Where's the BC union? Where are they? Where are the ones who was on the march with Labor Day with us? Steve, even the pastors. This is affecting the members in their churches. Huh? They got the light bill is going to go up on the church and these people homes. Where are they? Why are they so quiet in this country
Maybe what
at
the
this
woman is saying
time?
is real. Quiet revolution.
Yes.
See, what people have been so hurt by the actions of this particular government, and they have not been trying to correct the actions. They just keep making mistake after mistake after mistake and hope that they go away. People don't forget when these mistakes are happening. People add them all up, and they come home to haunt. They'll come home to haunt you. And let's just hope that we're going to have a fantastic election from a point of view that there's going to be no violence, but the rest of it, I cannot say, because at this time, you can't put your finger on it and say, this is exactly how we could see this thing happening. And no, I think this one's going to be a scary one for many people, especially for politicians, because at the end of the day, the people got nothing of the deal.
Thank you very much.
This has been just naked. There's nothing of this deal. This particular 5-year period, if it goes that long, has offered the people nothing except plenty taxes.
That's right. And burden.
And the people can't afford it. People, cost of living is so sky high, it is ridiculous. And no one seems to be paying attention to it.
Thank
now,
you.
I must say that Fred Mitchell seems to be paying attention to it, because he often talks about this all the time, that these guys got to get out and do their own work to get some things done. I don't know how serious he is about that.
He's not serious, but they
he's-
don't want
he's
the
been
money.
saying that, but here it is. They have not paid attention to what these people have been talking about.
Thank you.
Their neighborhoods, their residents, their people in the constituencies. They have just been, all we've been doing, killing people, burying people, and having parties.
And taxing and traveling.
Yeah, and having
Taxing,
parties. See,
traveling.
And borrowing.
something is
borrowing,
wrong.
yes.
Something is wrong.
Steve, they are now celebrating. I mean, they had the trolls celebrating. Our government is just went to Africa and they're going to borrow $30 million, just $30 million from the African bank.
Yeah.
All right, the African Exim Bank.
30 million.
You're borrowing $30 million from the African bank, and you see it as a victory.
They can't go to the IDB no more.
Oh no.
$30 million. You borrowing. That is not a victory. If you had to borrow that, you failed.
My Lord.
Thank you.
You couldn't raise.
I asked the question seriously just now, asking if they can't go to the IDB anymore.
Now you know they can't go there no
I'm
more.
just asking that question because, $30 million. What is that? What you talking about?
Thank you.
Anyway, hard copy, how are you? Yes, sir. How you doing?
I don't know if you can hear me, and to everybody in studio.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead.
We borrow. I don't know, 10, 12 billion, whatever it is. And what do we have to show for it? Everybody else has everything they want in our country. The cruise industry comes here and they proceed to tell us how to do tourism. Get their own little private carved out island and do what they got to do.
Exactly.
Come downtown and put up a big tall fence. Did you see the fence downtown?
No, I haven't
Does
seen
that
it.
keep me in or them out? Drive down there along the waterfront and look at the brand new shiny thing we built there, and does it have a fence and how tall is it? At the end of the day, if you're going to borrow $50,000 to buy a car, it makes no sense unless you can tell me you're going to turn it into a taxi and make $400 or $500 a day, pay that car off in 3 years,
Understood.
and have a profit. So if we're going to borrow all these millions and millions that we keep borrowing, what's the return on investment? See, a politician can borrow because he's got you to pay it off. You heard what I said? A politician can borrow
Yeah.
because he has you
Understood.
to pay it off. We've had 50 years and we've not built one hospital. Remember the television station, the only one we had that used to run this commercial saying the health of a nation is the wealth of a nation in the 70s and 80s?
Yes.
Well, if you
Is that
didn't
an
have me
S?
a hospital, you didn't care about my health and wealth, eh? 50 years. And I'm not talking about the current administration because they haven't finished. I'm talking about the last 50 years.
Yes.
So what I'm hearing on the street is, forget this party and forget that one. I'll vote for a cat. And so I'm here wondering, what do we do, Steve? Because are we going to take another chance, roll of the dice? And I hear some new slogan about believe. I can't believe the new slogan is the same as Mr. Christie's, if that's indeed what they're going to come with. I'm tired of that. We need, as I told Dobie Wills from
Just give them a slogan. Get them a slogan. Get them a slogan. They'll be good. They'll be good. Give them a slogan.
a good slogan would be
Lord have
a
mercy.
common goal. A common goal of energy security. Because without energy security, you have nothing. You don't have that radio station because you need security, affordability, reliability,
Absolutely.
right? And sustainability. And John Bostwick and myself, and I'll wrap up with this, in 20, I believe it was 14 or thereabout, we were panelists and we spoke to the energy solution, which was floating in a barge that could lower your energy cost to 12 cents a kilowatt hour.
I
So
remember that. I remember that.
energy.
Mhm.
That was an instant fix. You could do it right now. You could cut our light bill down in half, and you could have this thing implemented.
No,
in
but
2
people
months.
got to make some money. What's wrong with you, Graham?
Your cronies.
People got to make some money.
Go. Anyway, I just want to say thanks for keep putting on people that can think.
Yes, we do need more of
I'm
that.
tired of listening to other stations putting on people that just talk and nothing happening but an $11 jar of mayonnaise. Steve, you know what that's going to do to our tater salad?
Yeah.
You're going to shrink
Yeah.
because you can't afford to make it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a serious thing. All the best.
You have a good one.
All the best.
Have a good one.
Yeah,
Steve, you know what is so
it's a
sad?
serious thing.
Yeah, it's so serious. And like you say, these politicians, I don't understand why they went into the people's house. It was not about the people' best interest, you know. It was like, hey, we need to sit down and come up with a plan how we gonna make some money and let the people
Yeah.
pay the taxes.
And if
And-
push come to shove,
Yeah,
tax the people so that we can pay we don't
Thank
have
you.
anything to worry about.
keep taxing. And what Brave
Lord.
David say? Oh, we're not gonna put no new taxes, but you increasing the taxes someplace else.
Mhm.
You see the words when he using? Oh, we ain't got no new tax. But what they do, they increasing it. They can find a little spot to go, we can increase this here. We can increase this there.
This has been the truth is what we have, it appears that we have a fraudulent government.
Yes.
That's what it appears to be.
Yes.
Because
A deceitful government.
They've been doing everything in such a
Secret.
fashion, it doesn't look legit. Nothing looks legit.
Thank you.
Everything what they've been doing now comes under question. And
Thank you.
I'm saying, why are you questioning the government so many times on these little things that should mean
Thank you.
It should be no big deal.
Steve.
I mean,
Steve.
How come?
I have another document here that I'm going to read from that shows how y'all been getting raped. So the regular common Bahamian has been paying the bills of the big muckamucks. All right? Let me just say that for you again. The regular common Bahamian's been paying the bills of the big muckamucks. BPL actually admitted that in their forum this morning.
Oh my God.
And so this shows how much you pay per kilowatt hour. So General Service, which is large companies, it says it right here, they pay 8.7 cents. I don't know what 0.7 cents is because there's I don't know why they have this stuff, but 8.7 cents per kilowatt hour, right? And then anything they use over 9 is 6.2 cents. All right. So their price is starting from 6.2 cents per kilowatt hour. That's the big companies. That's the fellas who could afford to pay.
yes.
But guess what? The residential was paying. You was paying from 0 to 200. You was paying 10.95 cents per kilowatt hour. This ain't a fuel surcharge. It's your base rate.
The base rate.
Right? Because fuel surcharge is even more. But 10.95% of the kilowatt hour, and anything over 200, 11.95, and anything over 800, 14.95. Most people use over 8. Everyone uses over 800. All right. So the big companies who could afford to pay was paying from between 8.7 cents and 6.2 cents. You was paying between 10.11 cents and 15 cents. All right. That's just your base rate. So you was paying twice
My Lord.
what the big boys paying. All right. And you've been doing that from time immemorial.
No, boy, Lincoln, this fake news, eh?
This from BPL.
Man, look here. I can take a picture of that.
I can send it to you.
Yeah.
All right. This is from BPL. And so they had the poor man paying.
More.
So you hear now, you get to the phone right now, but you hear, see, they always make us pay for everything. You see now Pintard is talking about bringing income tax if they get in. All right. He's talking about we need an equitable tax system. He said it at his convention and in interviews. Equitable tax, right? Which means they want the rich to pay more. So that's income tax. All right. But you know what happens? They put loopholes in the law so the rich don't pay. The same way in America, the rich don't have to pay. They put up loopholes in the law. You put your money in investments or on certain things, and then you don't have to pay any taxes. So only the common man pays. The regular man pays. And this is how
And we
we've
think they
been
don't know what
raped.
they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing.
Mhm.
They know exactly what they're doing. Let's take a call. Hard copy, how are you?
Evening, Steve. Thank you for taking my call. Good evening, Mr. Bain. Mr.
Good evening.
Jackson.
Okay.
So excited to hear you guys on. I just want to make sure that Mr. Bain, Lincoln, when you go out to the square, the Parliament next week, I think you said you're going to go.
Yes, of course.
Put a charge to the opposition.
And the government.
Please take that document. Please take that document with you and challenge Mr. Pintar to answer the question about where did all that surcharge money go and why was that those surcharges on the backs of the poor, put on the backs of the poor working class Bahamian.
Thank you, because because he was in the cabinet.
Yes, give him something, give him some homework.
Well, he know I'm coming because he's watching.
It's nice to see him on the floor of the House, showing off his excellent parliamentary skills, but that's useless to it. That's just showboating. We want action. Give him something to do, something that he can sink his teeth in, and something that's actually going to benefit the Bahamian people.
Well, we're going to give him some action on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate the call.
That's all I can contribute. Thank you.
No problem.
You should say the phone number, Steve. I think people are trying to call in, but they don't have the numbers.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. 376-9234, 376-9234, or 821-9234. Just call us, and we'll be happy to take your calls because we want to hear what you have to say. You heard what Lincoln Bean and Maria Daxon had to say today about this BPL thing. And they're saying basically that we've been raped and robbed and all kinds of stuff, and some big boys are still getting all the monies, and they're hiding some things from us, the poor people, and they're taxing us as best they could, and they will do more if they can.
That's right.
And all of these things we've got to deal with, and we still got the big prices to pay at the food stores and the lumber companies and everything that's happening right now, because you need the lumber to put on your windows and stuff to keep the breeze out.
Steve, justify this for me.
Yeah.
Justify how you charge the big companies 6.2 cents.
Yes.
And you charge Bahamians up to 15 cents.
Yeah.
That's what you paying.
Yeah.
And this is BPL's information that they
That's from them.
My Lord. And the journalists have not gotten this copy, or they're in access to this copy. And you got
Lincoln
They
send
were
it, we can send it to them.
No, I'm going to send out a press release too, because I'm going there next week. I'm going to make sure they get all of these facts and they know what's going on. How do you do that to the regular people in this country, to the poor people? Why would you make us pay
more?
We are actually subsidizing the Family Islands. All right? We're subsidizing the cost of electricity in the Family Islands because they have no vision. And so now they're going to let Frankie Wilson then put solar on the Family Islands to kind of defray a lot of that cost, but we still paying. And the fella said at the meeting this morning, the BPL persons, they said it's going to get harder before it gets easier. So the government is selling some rosy picture, but this morning at their forum that they had,
yes,
they said it's going to get harder.
And this is where you went.
Before it's easier. I didn't go. Our deputy, me and Maria went to BPL, and our deputy leader went to that forum. We had to split up. All right. And so this is what they said at that meeting. It's going to get harder before it gets easier. Jesus.
376-9234. Call me. 821-9234. Call me because we've got to take a break right here, nonetheless, and pay some bills and all that kind of stuff. But boy, this is some very interesting stuff we're getting here today. And we first asked you that question: did they sell BTC or did they sell BPL or what? And we hear what the split is on the percentage. You're looking at 60 versus 40. We get the 40, they get the 60, and they ain't put no money in the kitty. They getting this thing for free. They ain't putting nothing in the kitty like BTC did. We got some. What it was 20? How much we got from BTC?
How much?
How much?
210 million.
210 millions. And these guys, they ain't putting nothing in the kitty yet. But they tell me that things have not really been finalized yet. So some things could still change. And I hope in the day when they hear what these numbers are,
thank you very much,
they will go and make some considerable changes to make this thing work out better than it had been intended to be working out for the Bahamian people.
Steve. But you know something before you go to your break? Why do they have the middleman? Why we just couldn't have one person in BPL working for BPL doing what this company's doing? You only need one man.
You can break that down when we come back.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me run to the break. Hard copy, how are you?
Hi, Steve McKinney.
All is well?
I'm all right, man. Kirk Crocker here.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon to Lincoln and Maria.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am one who was always a firm believer. The most important thing in any relationship, whether it be between God and man, husband and wife, or boss and employee, is communication. Having said that, that's why I launched the fight against the sale of BTC, because I am a firm believer that no country should allow its telecommunication system and its power grid to be owned by anybody other than the government itself or the country itself.
Mm-hmm.
When you lose your communication system and you lose your power grid to any foreign entity other than the Bahamas government, you will lose your country.
I agree with
On the
you.
verge of losing our country just because it is. They go on and sell BTC. I let them fight. They still going to do it. They now practically giving away, as you all say, giving away the power grid.
Yes.
That is crazy. We have to fight. We have to fight. We have to fight. I must commend you guys for what you all have been doing. Continue to fight, and I can assure you that I'm joining that fight. I mean, that fight with you all as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you kindly for your call.
We'll be there on Wednesday
Oh,
in
yeah.
the square.
Okay. Hard copy, how you doing today? Yes, sir. Turn your radio down, please.
I've been trying to reach you for many months, and I even left a number with you about 3 weeks ago. That's really important things to discuss with you. I wish to discuss with you before I bring it to the air. You know, and I would like to speak with Lincoln Bean also, but I would reiterate my number to you. I would like you to give me a call, please.
What's the telephone number?
The number is 822-649, Mr. Sayers.
822
649.
6409. Okay, Mr. Says? Okay.
Yes, I've been trying to reach you for a number of times, a long time now. You know,
And you can't reach me? I'm the most popular man in
I
town.
reach you, but you never return my call.
Oh, I see. Okay, well,
That was the thing.
well,
You know, you
I'll return your call in a minute.
challenges and issues going on, so,
Okay.
you know, it's due to this to be so.
All right. Appreciate it. Appreciate the call. Thank you. All right, okay. Now, let's run and take a break, and we'll come back after these words. What's the telephone number?
822.
Hold on. 822.
6409.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on a
64.
break. So 6409.
Yeah.
6409.
6409.
Mhm. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on a break. So the mic is going to be muted while we're on this break. But we'll be right back. Why is the government doing this? What they're actually doing is selling out the valuable parts of BPL. And so what they're doing is they're taking, so let's say you have a restaurant. The food is cooked, all right? And then the waiter delivers it to you, all right? That's what restaurants do. But what they're doing is they're not selling the restaurant, but they're letting someone else cook the food. And so, in other words, they're giving the generation to the generation ability to Frankie Wilson in there. So there are 4 generators in there. All right. So they're letting Frankie Wilson cook the food in the restaurant. All right. And then they're buying. So you own the restaurant. You're letting Frankie Wilson cook the food in the restaurant. And then you're buying the food from him to sell to your customers. Wow. How stupid that is. There's no way that could benefit the Bahamian people if you have a middleman in there. So I'll break it down again. You own the restaurant. All right. You are you have a kitchen. You're letting Frankie Wilson cook the food in the kitchen, in your kitchen now, because that's our plants where they generating the energy, right? They're letting Frankie Wilson cook the food in our kitchen, and then they're buying the food from Frankie Wilson to sell to the customer. How this has to be the dumbest government in the history of the world. Either this government is extremely dumb or extremely corrupt. And now they're having a conversation about distribution. Okay. Distribution is like the waiter delivering the food to you. All right. So distribution and transmission of the electricity is the electricity going from the generator to your home. So that's through the lines. And so this is the deal that they just made with this company. But the problem is we don't pay for distribution and transmission separately.
Exactly. So
how is this company going to make money from that if we don't pay for that separately? Something doesn't add up. The math isn't mathing. That's a serious problem. So what's really going on here, Steve?
Boy, I'd be damned to know. I don't know.
This doesn't add up. No one can make sense of this. What are they actually selling? Who are they selling it to? And why?
This is why the people believing that there's more to this than what meets the eye.
Of course there is.
Something big time. But maybe they've not let us all know all the players in this deal as yet.
Steve, they will never let us know.
We don't need to know all the players. All I know is one. Let's just put common sense here. Common sense. It is impossible for a monopoly to be bankrupt.
Yes.
It is impossible for a monopoly to be 500 million in debt.
I like that one.
That is an impossibility. If you are the only person who can do anything in the country, it is impossible for you to be bankrupt. If you are the only person who can sell water, how could you be bankrupt? In the whole country, If you are the only person who can sell numbers, let's say Sabas makes a big deal with the government and only him can sell numbers. How could he be bankrupt? That's impossible. If you're the only person that can sell gas,
you got exclusive rights. You're a man.
If you're the only one that can sell school books, they are the only company that can legally sell what all of us use every day. Electricity. The only company. Let's do some more maths, Steve. They say they're making they have 108,000 customers, just over 108,000 customers. How could you be bankrupt selling anything to 108,000 customers? $1 each a day is 108,000 a day. And so how could you be bankrupt? They said that their expenses is 40 million, right? About 30 million for fuel, which goes directly to the F&M and PLP through Focal, etc. And a 10 million, only 10 million is their administrative costs. That's all the staff and the pay for their vehicles and everything else. Only 10 million. So this is no big operation. It's just that you're paying a lot of money for fuel. So let's divide, let's say it's 30 million. Let's say it's $40 million a month, right? that they pay for all of their expenses, Steve, $40 million a month. And let's divide that by 108,000 customers. That'll determine what you need to cover your expenses, wouldn't it? So 108,000 divided, it's 40 million divided by 108,000, because that's your customers. All you need from each customer to cover all your expenses, all of it, is $370. So if all of your expenses is 40 million, that's your fuel and your administration, everything. And you have 108,000 customers. All you need is 370. Most of us is pay more than that.
Yeah.
Some people pay 1,000, 1,200, 700, 500.
Very true, very true.
Very few people pay less than that. So that means, how is it that you're not making enough money to benefit?
Boy, Steve, they really swinging us. Lincoln making a lot of sense.
How is that possible?
Oh, yeah.
Your bills is 40 million. You have 108,000, that's got your website, customers. You only need $370 from each of us, and all your expenses covered. Everything over that is gravy. Gravy. Come on. Yeah.
Maybe you should go and be the accountant over there by BPL.
No, the problem is they ain't counting.
They ain't counting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They can't count.
They can't count.
Because if they count, someone go to jail.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It is impossible for a monopoly to be bankrupt.
Yes.
So this is a government of idiots. Steve, if they give you BPL for 1 year, you'll be a billionaire. The problem is they are busy worrying about how they could thief from BPL.
Yeah.
They are making money with those old generators that you normally buy. They're making money by selling parts to BPL. All right, look who getting the contracts. And then you see. They're also making money not just from selling the fuel, The big money is made from transporting the fuel.
Understood.
That's why they could charge less on the Family Island. Because the transporting of the fuel is where folk will make their big money. You see? On the ships. That's where the big money is. And so they don't care about whether BPL makes a profit. They just worried about their profit that they're sucking from it. And they're going around the country right now trying to see how they could rape from every single ministry.
Yes.
That airport deal where everyone who's bringing in something got to pay this extra tax to them,
Yes.
their coonies. Come on, man.
Yeah.
They're finding every way that they could, after this election, it don't matter if they win. They done straight. You understand? That's what they're doing. Every ministry. They're in the Ministry of Lands and Survey. They got rid of all the management. There's no director there.
Yeah.
How you could have Lands and Survey with no director?
Yeah.
Lands and Survey. No director, no management.
Portfolio of the Prime Minister, didn't it?
No, yes, but there's no management there. And so they're doing whatever they want to do. All right? They're doing this all over the country. There's other ministries where the same thing happening. They are putting their people, or they're moving the leadership so they can rape and rob and do what they want. This is the most corrupt government that we have ever had.
Look
But
at
the problem
road
is,
traffic.
look at road traffic.
They put up fees again. Look at national security. They put up the fees with the police record and all those firearm license. Every single agencies, immigration. Look at it.
The taxes to continue.
The taxes. They ain't finished yet, Steve.
And this is because
The Ministry of Tourism again.
Yeah.
Remember? They heist upon the fees for us leaving out the country. The 5 and the everything they doing.
Steve, we are promoting Bahamians benefiting from their natural resources and carbon credits. All right? That's what we've been fighting for. We don't need to be a country that's taxed to death.
Thank you.
And I want everyone on the sound of my voice listening to that. They used to tell you that we had no natural resources. They lied to you. So you're going to continue to believe them? They're saying, oh, Lincoln Bean is selling dreams. He's lying to you. But they were the ones who lied. They said that carbon credits weren't real before election. We were fighting for it. They said, don't listen to Lincoln Bean. Carbon credits ain't real. That's a scam. Now that's all they're talking about. So you're going to continue to listen to the person that affirms that they've been lying to you? Come on. Come on.
Ridiculous, ridiculous. Hard copy, how are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
If you really want to be honest, they are a bunch of heathen dogs. What can you say different? Is this not true?
A
Yeah.
bunch of teeth and dogs, eh?
They want to grab us. They want to suck. They're sucking us dry. They are heartless. Heartless leeches. And that's all they have to say for now. People don't get what video on.
Appreciate the call. You know, why would they be doing this though?
They don't care.
You think that they're thinking that you might as well get all one time because you might not get back in.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
They don't care.
that kind of makes sense if they're trying to get everything out of you. You can't be doing poor public relations like this. You can't take everything from the people one time.
Yeah. What bothers me is that the opposition seems to be working with the government. They're not fighting for anything that really benefits us, you know. I want you to watch them carefully. They're not fighting for
We
anything.
shall be watching.
They're not fighting. They'll put some little stuff out there, but they're not fighting when the government is abusing us.
Yeah.
They're in partnership with that. When they hit us with new taxes and hit us with this and that, they're not fighting for that. They ain't getting put out of the house for that. No. Because they know they're going to come and do worse. They are working together and the people have to wise up. Steve, I am extremely concerned with people who don't understand that Brent Simonet wants Andres.
Thank you very much. He
Yeah.
does.
Morgan's Bluff.
Oh,
He
yes.
wants Andres,
Yes.
all right? North Andres, Morgan's Bluff, a deep harbor port,
Yes.
and he wants he had Cameron fronting that business for them.
Yes.
Cameron Simonet.
Yes, Cameron Simonet.
Yes.
All right. And I showed the documentation where the company is actually in England and where Brent Simonet, them name is on it. I showed it on my live.
Yes.
And so Brent Simonet can't say that I him, that's Cameron. No. That's all of them. They want that mining deal in Andres.
Yes.
He couldn't get it from Ingram. All right. And that's why, he kicked a hissy fit and didn't, he wasn't a deputy. Remember, Ingram didn't have a deputy? All right. He couldn't get what he wanted from Ingram. He couldn't get it from Minnis. That's why in the middle of his term, he just quit on Minnis because Minnis wasn't giving him what he wanted. So he quit to make him look bad. You see? He couldn't get it from Brave. All right. And so now he is funding his puppet. You see, Ingram had his own political strength and he had his own career. So he could have stand up against Brent.
Yes.
Minnis, the same thing. Brave, the same thing.
But Michael
don't have no career. He don't have nothing. He doesn't do nothing. If he loses this job, what does he do? Where does he go? And so he can control this one. You see? And so he's going to use him because all you need is someone with the pen who's under your control. You don't need the pen, You just need to control the person with the pen. And that's what Brent Simonet. He realized he can't be prime minister. So he wants to control the prime minister. And finally, he's like, the evil villain in the movie. He finally got that person who's going to be his puppet to give him Andres. So just so you understand the magnitude of this. That's worth billions of dollars. So they will pay anything. Anything. You remember Von Miller exposed what was going on in Bahama Rock in Grand Bahama?
Yes.
And he said it's $5.4 billion worth. That's just the raw value. That ain't what it's selling for. It could sell for 10 times that.
Yeah.
So Brent Simonet them want to do the same thing in Andres. And that's worth billions. So they will give Pintard any amount of money. They're going to drop so much money on the ground. The PLP is going to be dizzy. They ain't going to know what hit them. The number man money is a joke to what these fellas are going to drop on the ground because they want to control not just the marijuana, that's small money, right? They want to control the billions in our limestone and rock. The same thing they say wasn't real and that they didn't have before this.
Hard copy, how you doing?
Good day, Steve. How you doing?
All is well, sir.
All right. Good afternoon to you, guests, Maria and Lincoln Bain as well.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Okay. My name is Dwayne Christopher O'Neill Ferguson. And I would like to chime in on this BPL saga that we have going on in our country. And one of the things that I've noticed over the years, and I'll start from 1992 with Hubert Alexander Ingram, the then Prime Minister. I don't know if you guys remember when the light bill was quarterly.
Yes, we remember that.
Yeah.
Mr. Ingram came and said that they were going to change it from quarterly to monthly.
Yes,
Right.
I remember that.
And all of a sudden, we were paying monthly for light bills that we were paying quarterly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yes.
Very true.
And it escalated and escalated, and it never went down since.
Very true.
Yes.
Okay, so this what they're saying is a systematic approach by the governments to enrich themselves on the backs of the people. Okay, now it seems as though I guess they are doing the DPL, I guess waterways.
If there's any money left in waterworks, if there's more money left down there.
These people, they are unscrupulous, they're ruthless,
Yeah.
and they simply do not care. They don't care.
What's the recourse of the Bahamian people, though? What's the recourse? Because you made a very, very good point, That quarterly billing, that saved a lot of money for those other fellas, who was in the politics, to get that money that we were just paying now every month instead of
Yes.
every quarter.
Yes.
It's a serious thing.
Yes. And the service got worse, Steve.
So what is the recourse of the Bahamian people? What do we do? I mean, what do we do? Because I'm at a loss here, because it seems like one government does it, the next government comes up and do it again, then the third government comes up and do something else, and we can't get a break, and the Bahamian people are just paying out of their backsides. Something is very wrong with that.
I feel that we need to have another commission of inquiry, like we did in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
And with this time, with the prosecution power to send you to jail,
Yeah.
for people to jail, I think that's what we need to do to bring this country
Back in order. I appreciate the call.
Yeah. One more thing before I go.
Sure, go ahead.
When Mr. Ingram sold BDC, he also sold something that was invaluable. I don't know if you all recall it. It was the cable that traveled between the Bahamas and the U.S., the United States of America.
The what?
Water. You all remember that?
Oh, the water line.
That cable that connected us to the United States.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That in itself was worth billions of dollars. And it's even more so now.
Mhm.
They did a great injustice to this country. And sometimes it makes me shout out when I see people calling these gentlemen honorable.
Yeah.
Because what they did to this country was certainly not honorable at all.
Appreciate the call.
Okay, good evening.
Sad day, man. Thank you so much.
Steve,
Sad day. Yes, sir.
Steve, I just want to touch on something that we're talking about BPL, but there's something else that's hurting the Bahamian people that's happening right now. Like I said, it's so much. NIB, they are now going to raise the retirement age from 65 to 67
Yes.
for NIB. It's criminal and fraudulent. You know why? Because if you were paying NIB from you were 18 years old with the agreement that when you get 65, that you would get your benefits,
Right.
they can't wait till you 65 and say, oops, you got to wait till you're 67. They can't wait till you 58 and say, oh, we changed our mind. Whatever that arrangement was with the Bahamian people, that changed now.
So when Sayers talked about this thing with removing the old age pension of the retirement age now to 67,
That's fraud.
You're saying that wasn't well thought through.
They
No,
don't care.
no. See, you can't make an agreement with the people. The agreement is that I have to pay this, and I'm forced to pay this because I go to jail if I don't pay it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm forced to pay this. You force me to make this payment with the promise that when I get 60 or 65, I can benefit from this. You can't now change that willy-nilly to 67. We didn't agree to that.
Thank you very much.
That's a problem. Now, what you can do is you can say, okay, for everyone who starts paying it as of this date,
Hey,
when you get 67, you
thank you very
will
much.
that will be your retirement age. But for everyone who has been paying that from yesterday back, their retirement age
okay.
remains at 65.
In a matter of fact, Lincoln, let me make corrections. Back then, when I started, it was 60.
Yes, it was.
When I started at the age 18, it was 60. So, when I turned 60, I gave them my money. Because that don't apply to me.
Understood.
And I agree with you, Lincoln. How long they want us to work. They want you to contribute, don't benefit, because they're looking for you to die.
There needs to be a class action lawsuit about this.
Thank you very much.
But they didn't say that the people are living longer, you see. That was one of the things that they gave. Hard copy, how are you?
Good afternoon, Steve. How you doing?
All is well, sir.
Good, good. Good afternoon to Maria and Lincoln.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, Brother Steve, look at you. You are one of those that are up in age, right? Myself is one of them, and many others behind us,
Yes.
and even before us. Now, what is going to happen to us when we can't go on a job and make an income to feed ourselves and to house ourselves? What's going to happen? Nothing is put in place for the elderly. And so many are out there, they retire from their jobs, say those that was on the police force that didn't prepare themselves for the few
For this time.
20 days,
Mm-hmm.
that didn't have a house, that couldn't afford to buy a house because they wasn't making enough money to even get one.
Thank you.
And now here it is. They retire from work and they go to bed that night after they retire, and they start to think, well, what am I going to do? I don't have nothing coming in to feed myself. So I got to go back to work. And I had a point now. I very much tired of working, in the hot sun in the construction field. We need the behemoths, especially the older set, need income coming in where we have to wait for it.
But they didn't take your sovereign wealth fund. They didn't take that from you, so you didn't get that. They took your sovereign wealth fund, so you didn't get that. No. Yeah, you may stand a chance by doing that.
Yeah, and I would like to be that one to go after them.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I hear what you're saying, my brother, but I hear what you're saying. It is something for us to very soberly think about, and we've got to make that appeal to all and sundry, including the minister, if he's in error on that particular motion. But it is something for us to think about. All of us are getting up in age, and we know that. And so we've got to look at this thing, this class action lawsuit that Lincoln Bain has suggested today, that we may have to look at that and see exactly how this is going to happen.
Yes.
Or see if that is there's a possibility that cannot happen. We've got to look at it. Soberly look at it. We gotta address it.
Yes.
We gotta seriously address it. All right? So I appreciate what you're saying.
Steve, let me say this to my organic behemoth people who on this live watching and listening in. Please, every behemoth, let's boycott these boycott. Let me put it. Boycott these corrupt politicians, and let's go for our own behemoth people and are Bahamian people in Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
So Bahamians could run this country because we as Bahamians love this country.
Thank you.
And it need now a Bahamian government in Parliament to run this country, not illegal, not immigrants. Because everyone that I found out over the years, it was not a sensible Bahamian in Parliament running this country. Everyone was outside, mixed blood. And that is burning my guts up because I don't believe in that foolishness. It should have been Bahamians running our country.
Well, join the crew. Join the rest of us. Join the rest of us because let's burn up everybody's guts. I tell you that. But we hear what you're saying. We appreciate what you're saying. And yes, sir.
I just gotta hang up and continue to do a great way and continue to bring folks on their show to expose the corruption that's going on in this country.
Appreciate it. All the best then, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You'll have a great day.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, that about does it. It's 4 minutes behind the hour, 7 o'clock. Lincoln, you know, you got to wrap it up. Wrap it up and tell us exactly what you see in the forecast now, considering the whole thing that you brought up today with BPL, considering what you're now considering, if in fact these guys cannot be serious about this whole thing, and let us know exactly what you're thinking that we should do as a people, as a nation.
As a nation, we must come together as a people. We're going out there on Wednesday to visit the leader of the opposition because he works for us. We pay his salary, all right? And we're going out there to visit the prime minister because he works for us. And we're going to deliver documents to them. We have to come out there as a Bahamian people. I'm not going out there as leader of COI. I'm going out there as a Bahamian. All right? Marie is going out there as a Bahamian. We're going out there as Bahamians because we see these same people raping and robbing us every time. The only way we're going to win this is if we stand together. I'm not saying no politics. I'm saying regardless of your politics,
Put it
you
aside.
must be there. Whether you're PLP, FNM, whoever you are, come out there. Come in your FNM shirt if you want to. Come in your PLP shirt. But be there and stand up to this rape of our country.
Because all of us are being affected.
Everyone is being
Everybody's
affected. The price of electricity affects the price of your food.
Yes.
Because when Super Value gets that big bill, he puts that on the price of the food.
Yes. You have to trickle it down.
You understand? It affects the price of everything in this country. And so we have to stand up. And on top of that, man, we can't let these same people be making all the money from this country, raping and robbing, and we get nothing. The same people.
And paying taxes on top of it.
Yeah, we get nothing and they make us pay for it. So we got to pay for that loan. They put in 5.5 cents on it for us to pay.
And don't give an account.
They had us paying,
Okay.
right? The documents right here. They had us paying the big bills. We were paying the big rate. While the big companies, the big boys,
Dear friends.
Supposed to be paying it.
paying 6.2
My
cents
Lord.
Thank you.
or
Dear friends.
8.7
And guess what?
cents.
They want more. They want more.
Thank you very much. All kind of concessions, Steve.
It's amazing.
You forget?
It's amazing.
Thank
How
you.
much more they want, Steve?
I only want to refer this conversation to something we talked about yesterday. These greedy people, they want everything.
Thank you.
I mean, what else can we say?
But you know why they do it? Because we let them do it.
Yes.
You see, they know
How
that
do we
either-
put a stop to it now? We've
You
got
gotta
to
fight
move,
us.
right?
the only threat that they understand is a political threat. That is the only thing that moves these politicians. Political threat.
And the people.
And
too.
so, see, when we go out there, we're not going out there as a party, you know. We're going out there as Bahamian people.
Yes.
But if they see that as a political threat, they will turn around and say, hold on, we have to rethink this thing. But if they see Bahamians are not going to do anything, they're going to just do it.
They got to rethink the thing on the hospital as well.
Yeah.
This
Of
whole
course.
baby what thing what they want to do.
Thank you.
They must rethink
It's a
that.
scam. It's a scam
Yes.
to sell, to buy the property off of those who own the property. It's a scam. This hospital is not going to be finished before the election comes. It's not. So it's already a failure. That whole thing is garbage. All right? Nothing they are doing in this term makes sense. Yeah. They're trying to do some little nice things and then trying to oversell it. Oh, we're feeding some children in the schools. You know, they're trying to do a couple little nice things here and there. Yeah, they're bull skating.
Yes.
While they're partying, balling, and living their best lives.
Yes. Taking pictures.
The contracts they have. Steve.
Yes.
They're billing. I keep going on. Steve, they're billing an airport in Cat Island for $18 million. That's a 12,000 square foot airport. $18 million. You want to do some more maths, Steve? You want to do some maths on that?
I'm exhausted.
Let's do some maths on that. 18 million.
And these things are not going out to bidding, Steve. That's what our problem is.
Divided by 12,000. 12,000. Because that's 12,000 whatever, right? That's $1,500 a square foot.
$1,500 a square foot.
Now let me show you where this don't make sense. Let me show you how this don't add up.
Thank you very much.
$18 million for that airport. All right, 18 million. And the foundation of that costs 50,000. 50,000. The foundation of the roof is the most expensive thing. So how do you get from 50,000 to 18 million? You see, this is the kind of stuff that is happening all around us right now.
That's a serious thing.
You see, we have to stand up as a people and not let them get away with it, man. I know everyone wants to wait until the election and then do their thing there because no one wants to get victimized. Is there anybody that will stand with us?
I don't think that we, the people, really care about these things. I think that our whole saving grace is that throw the whole buggers out, throw them out. That's how we see it. But you've got to send a message. You've got to make sure that you are abiding by the rules and the regulations, that we have to do things in a democratic and a decent way. You got to make sure that these people understand English. You cannot. Lord.
Well, I'm Lincoln Bain, and I'm a runaway slave, and I'm ready to transform this country. We're inviting everyone to the New Bahamas. Escape from your chains. Escape from your mental chains.
Slavery.
Escape from your mental slavery. And let's go to a new Bahamas that works. A new Bahamas that works for us. It's time for change and it's time for different. Stand with us. Take the day off, take early lunch or whatever. Come help us deliver these documents to leader the opposition, etc. So that they can know.
Coming, right?
That's Wednesday coming at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Wednesday coming at 10 a.m. Come stand with us.
Spread the word.
And let's let them know. Man, you can't just give away BPL, man. You all been trying to do this.
Thank you.
The same people. And we ain't getting nothing out of the deal. Nothing. Come on, man.
And we need to cut out the third man. We don't need them.
Yeah.
We don't need them.
Final call. Hard copy. How are you?
Steve, you don't seem to be convinced yet. Off with the PLP head. You hear me? They're gone. They are so gone. We want a prime minister or a president who could stand up and talk on the speak. Which Michael Pintock? Yes, he just talk his poetry and all that garbage. Great Davis. None of them could drag Lincoln Bain old slippers. They cannot. They are not as knowledgeable as he is. Off with the PLP head. If you don't believe that, you will see soon.
Appreciate it. Yeah, she had to get the call.
Wow. Just to let everybody know, we are live every Sunday at 5 o'clock. There's some people who think that we're not out there anymore. Of course, you won't see us in the regular media, but you will see us live every Sunday at 5 o'clock on Facebook and on YouTube. Some people don't have Facebook, but we're also on YouTube. Join us as we continue to do this. We're going to continue our dollar drives because we got to make money, Steve, to fund our party. And we don't want to owe any oligarchs or anybody. And we're going to be out there next Saturday doing our dollar drive so they can make all the fun they want. They can see that we are operating on their level. We're traveling to Family Islands and we're fighting for the people and doing what we have to do. And just like they have fundraisers, we're going to have our fundraisers. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be out there on Wednesday at 10 a.m. to deliver documentation to both the Prime Minister and to the Leader of the Opposition that this cannot be allowed. I'm speaking to all of the BEC workers. Talk to your union leader and tell him that he needs to take a stand. He needs to stand up.
That's right.
And if there is anyone who is threatening that union leader, let me tell you something. He represents the people of the Bahamas. Like a word that like that, so you'll understand what I'm saying.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man. We thank you very much for coming today. And we thank you very much, Maria Jackson, because we needed to hear that information. We need to hear some of that information because everybody has not been telling us the truth. And those who've been saying the truth, but they're only telling us half of the truth or just a little teeny bit of the truth. But it's happening now, and I believe the news is out.
You see all this information here? Live on Sunday, releasing this.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for listening to the show today. And we thank all of you on Facebook and everybody else who's been listening around the world today. Thank you so much. This has been our show today here on Hard Copy. And we say goodbye now.
Thank you all for joining us. See you all on Sunday at 5 o'clock, but also see you all on Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to deliver something from the people to our opposition and tell them to stop being weak, stop acting and pretending, and to deliver something to our Prime Minister to tell him, come on, man. Come on. We don't accept this. All right. See you all later.